everybody, and welcome to the Wealthy Lala Show with myself, Laurie Larson. Today is episode 206. How does it get any better? And you know what crazy topic I'm going to jump into today? Because it's one I know incredibly well. Depending on the moment, it can be embarrassing, it can be uncomfortable, it can be face palming. But I really wanted to talk about the whole concept of taking things personally. I was raised in an environment, that had a lot of that, where people took things personally. Yeah, there just was a lot of people who did that. And gosh, I mean, you can see it everywhere. You can see it in the news, and on social media and stuff like that, where that's where we go, is we take things personally. Now, it when I first heard this concept that anything anyone else even that ever does to you, that it actually has nothing to do with you. I know that I talked about this in a previous show, whatever the title of the show was, but I am sure maybe for you guys, but definitely for me, it bared repeating probably 100 times before I actually started to actually get it. And then I had to kind of watch it, observe it, play with it, and then actually see that, holy crap, it is actually true. So if I say to you that I don't like you, me saying that actually has nothing to do with you. It is totally coming from my perspective, my points of view, my wounds, my conclusions on what I've decided right or wrong is, what's likable or not likable, or, if you think about it, it actually has nothing to do with you. It comes from my perspective. Now, you see where we get hung up, and because we've been taught that when someone says something to us that isn't what we would say nice, that it means that they shouldn't. That's where we get stuck with this. So if I say to you that I don't like you and you have a charge about it, what ends up happening is what ends up is like, if you were able to see that if you have a charge about it, the charge is about you, but actually really get that it actually has nothing to do with you. Okay, I had a stream of thought with that, and then it's like 2 or 3 things came in, and then all of a sudden it became muddled. So, and I'm not going to lie, I mean, seriously, as soon as I turn on the show, I start recording it and I start yawning. I really think the universe is playing a joke on me. My body is playing a joke on me, because I'm like, I actually want to, you know, I see, that's a great example. I could take that personally. I could take it personally from my body or from the universe. Like, what am I yawning for? As soon as I put on a show, I start yawning. So if we look at that, if we really actually look at that, it my reaction is my reaction. That's crazy. My reaction is my reaction. Okay, I'm kind of working through this while I'm on the show here, just so you know, guys, because I've gotten it. Oh, I get it sometimes, and then there's other times where I still find that I slip back and I want to take it personally that my body is yawning while I'm on this show, because I have a judgment that it shouldn't yawn this often while I am recording a podcast. Do you guys get that? So, oh my gosh, but my reaction is my reaction. Like, if you were me, or like, okay, say if I was talking to you and I said, hey, I do this crazy thing, I start yawning when I'm doing my podcast, and you'd be like, well, what information is your body giving you? What if it's just the way your body processes? What if you're extremely aware of how many people take things personally, and you doing this radio show is actually helping process and change that energy? Okay, guys, this is actually really light. I didn't think I'd be facilitating myself on this call, on this podcast. Oh, I hope you guys are able to follow this. As I said before, it's the way Laurie's mind works. So, but really, like, the other night I was woken up in the middle of the night and my shoulder was aching. That's what it was. And I was so frustrated. So I actually got up and I started doing some EMDR on it, which is the eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. They call it EMDR. And then I was also doing a bit of EFT. And what I started to notice was that I actually wasn't in a space of just being okay with it. I was actually wishing it was gone. I was judging it as wrong. It's the exact same thing I'm doing with the yawning right now. So actually really look at it. Like, look at the different areas of your life where you actually find yourself taking things personally, and ask yourself what your thoughts are. Almost like, if I wasn't taking this personally, what would I be aware of? So with the yawning, if I wasn't taking this yawning personally, what would I be aware of? I'd be aware of that this is a huge subject, and that when I do body work with people in person, my body yawns. So we're all energetic beings. When I start doing shows like this, it's tapping into the people that are listening, to the people that are going to listen. And what if I'm processing and facilitating that and being a contribution? What if my body is doing that? And what if my body is even processing and facilitating people that are asking for it that aren't even listening too? And if they have a willingness to receive it, they're going to get it energetically. I mean, you guys probably have all had those times where, you just all of a sudden kind of felt better for some reason, and you wonder, like, what did you tap into? It's like you go outside. It's not like outside does anything to you, and you feel better. So what is it about going outside? It's the energy of when you go outside. It's the energy of the trees, the energy of the grass, the energy of the wind, the energy of the sun, and everything that you can perceive with your senses. Yeah. And I love this example, because if I really say, like, my hair, and say you came up to me, or someone comes up to me and says, Laurie, your hair looks like crap. If I really like it and I'm so okay with myself, what would I do? I would probably likely go, well, interesting that you have that opinion. I actually really like it. Okay? So if I've got a strong sense of self, it's not going to wobble. Now, if you say that to me and I have a weak sense of self, it'll be like, oh, geez, well, I wonder, maybe my hair really does look bad. I wonder if I should maybe change it. And then, or you could go, who do you think you are saying that to me? How dare you say something like that to me? And, again, my reaction is information to me about me. Now, that's the simple cut and dry thing. The other thing that I like to really remind people of too, because we're taught that kindness does go a long way, and being kinder and sweeter to other people, it does create greater. And our inability to receive someone else being an ass actually doesn't create greater for us. If we do receive it, someone comes up, Laurie, I can't stand your hair. well, maybe it wasn't very kind that they said it, but I guess it's what I do with it that actually makes it go any further. If I go, that's okay, I really like it. Thanks for your opinion. It stops there. It's done. That creates greater. So what about if someone says something to me and then I start, oh my God, I'm really doubting myself. I start to go into this sort of weak persona. That's not creating greater for me. It's keeping the energy going on. And then the same thing if I was to get angry back, whether I get angry back myself or angry back to them directly, either way, it's keeping that energy going. And, we can change those kind of things. Like, that's one of the things that I really, truly loved about when I took a whole bunch of classes with Access Consciousness was that it's where I first learned that what other people say and do has nothing to do with me. That actually really truly it has nothing to do with me. So and again, so if someone comes up to me and they say, hey Laurie, you're being a real miserable cow, if I have a charge about it, then that's my part to clean up. If I disagree with them, it's light for me to disagree with them, and I just let myself go, okay, cool, interesting that you have that point of view. Thank you for the information. See you later. I'm going for coffee. But if you actually do react, then there's some place in you that you obviously believe that, and that's something you want to clean up. You really do. There was another part to that I did want to share too. And even if I do react when someone's called me a miserable cow, what them saying it still doesn't have anything to do with me. Now, the one thing though that I do like to keep in mind is that if someone comes to me and says I'm a miserable cow, some of us would respond with to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. I ain't that. And yet we actually do choose it. We actually are choosing it. They are coming to call us out on something. And so maybe we've actually asked for that. Maybe we're like, universe, hey, can you show me the areas of my life where I'm actually not creating greater, where I could choose something different? And so person X, caller Susie, comes up and says, hey, you're being a miserable cow. You can be like, was I asking for this? Be like, oh, I actually was. Yeah, I actually was. Okay. Then I wonder if I'd like to change it. So this again, you guys, is such a great thing. I love, love, love questions. And so if someone comes up to you and says, I don't like your hair or you're a miserable cow, you can ask, so truth, is this relevant to me? And then if you get no, let it go. If you have any kind of charge, that's for you to take care of you and clean it up. Is there a part that you believe that you don't like your hair or you're a miserable cow? And so you want to take care of that. And how can you increase your confidence in that way? Maybe someone you've been doubting your hair and you're wondering, and someone comes and questions your hair. Is that feedback that you were actually looking for? The same thing about being a miserable cow. Is that feedback I was actually looking for? Wow, that doesn't work for me. Maybe I'd like to try something different. So it is true that anything that anybody says or does to you does not have anything to do with you. And is it also something that is giving you information about you, about your life, about your reaction to things that's actually an answer to something you've been asking. And so if someone comes up to me and calls me out for not being so cool, or and if I don't have a charge, it'd be like, okay, I can really truly see that doesn't have anything to do with me. Now that, people, is actually freedom. We don't actually have to try and protect ourselves by never leaving the house, not talking to people, making our world smaller and smaller, because I did try that. But what I find is true freedom is when you can be out in public and people can be all different kind of ways around you, and you have such a strong sense of self that you're just like, okay, time to go. Okay, I'll I'll stay. Okay, I'm gonna go talk to these people. Oh, I'm gonna go move over here. Oh, time to go to the washroom. But you have an awareness of choosing it towards and for you, for your life, and creating greater. You're not running from, you're not hiding, you're not protecting yourself. Oh man, this could be a really long subject. We are done for today already, and I want to thank you so much for listening. I just thought I'd let you know I'm going to be having a new website soon, and I look forward to sharing it with you, and I'm going to have some little treats with it. So how does it get any better? All right, you guys take care, big hugs, and have an awesome rest of your day. Want to contact me? thewealthylala@gmail.com.